reason a dog would get physical therapy are several reasons. So performance dogs can benefit from physical therapy or canine rehab, whether or not they're injured. Just getting a stronger core, getting more range of motion can help them with certain things. So Sunny is a rescue dog from the Humane Society. So Sunny's mom doesn't know that much about him, but she started doing agility with him. He's about 4 years old, and she noticed he was starting to refuse jumps. And that set off a red flag because Sunny is a very compliant dog. So some dogs you wouldn't think anything of it. What we were working on today a lot was the massage because Sunny, again, I guess this week, started refusing jumps. He's trying to increase his jump height because he's trying to get into a competition, and there's a certain height, and she's trying to do it by a certain time. But she's trying to do it smartly so he doesn't get injured. But it's like with anything, so she's been trying to increase it, and she noticed that he's not doing well right now, so she's going to back off. What the core strength does for Sunny, or any kind of agility animal, is it allows them to work their inner strong muscles, support their limbs, take some of the pressure off, and just be stronger. It's like humans too. When we first started with him, we would barely get him on the ball and he would sit down. And now, as you see, he's on the ball, he's walking around. And the first time we did that thing where we put his front feet on there and his back, he was exhausted. So, it's just like anything. It's like a training program. You build him up. Other dogs or animals that would need rehab are post-surgical animals. So in human medicine, they're starting to get surgery, or especially orthopedic surgery patients, up sooner and sooner. So they try and get them up, for the most part, the day after surgery and have them walk around just so that they can maintain their muscle mass and start getting back some of the range of motion. And the same with dogs. So you may not want to have them standing up or walking around, but you would take them out of their cage a couple times a day, do ice perhaps, do like they call it passive range of motion, where you just grab their whatever leg and just move it through the range of motion so the scar tissue doesn't start building up and restrict their movement, which you'd have to deal with later. So it's always better to prevent a problem than to have to fix it. So Taka is in the last category, which I was going to speak about, which is older dogs that are starting to lose range of motion and getting arthritic. And so when you get arthritic, you get little calcium deposits around your joints, and so it causes pain. So the tendency of arthritic people, dogs, whatever, is to start moving less and less. The less you move, the more atrophy you'll have in your muscles, and generally the more pain. If you sit there and do nothing, you're generally not going to feel good. Like those days where you sit on the couch all day, you feel blah. But, the pain will start making them change their gait. So a lot of times you look at arthritic dogs, Taka included, you can look at one side and the other, you'll start to see atrophy, especially in their hind limbs. With the dogs, they'll start to bear more weight in the front and then take the weight off their back. That's what I've noticed. They can get shoulder problems too, but in general, they tend to get weaker in the hind end, and that's kind of what's going on with Taka. So with her, I kind of suspect she's had a hip problem, maybe hip dysplasia for a long time. And so even though she'll lay with her legs behind her, she doesn't like to get this bone, this femur bone, into extension. And generally when they have hip problems, it's painful. So that's what I've been working on her a lot with, is just loosening up that hip so that it can move in the socket. What I'm finding working with the animals is you have to get to know them, get to know what they like, get to know what they don't like, not force anything. So a lot of it is learning the dog's personality, learning what motivates them, what they don't like, and allowing them to kind of lead the session. So a lot of times if you just listen to their nonverbal cues, like I was saying with Sunny, look, he's panting. To me, because I know he won't get up and run away, that's kind of a sign of pain. Both of my old dogs, they were old and arthritic, and I didn't know about this stuff, and I totally would have done it with them, but I think people don't know about how you can improve their quality of life. Like, it's not going to turn a 20-year-old dog into a 5-year-old dog running around and jumping, but it might turn a 10-year-old dog that's having trouble walking. Instead of walking 1 block, maybe they can walk 3 with less pain. And so it keeps them active and comfortable longer. It's a quality of life thing with companion animals. I really believe in this stuff, and I've seen it work for animals, and it's not a miracle, but we love our pets. They're like our children, and it can make them feel better. It can make them able to do things that they couldn't before and be in less pain and happier. And to me, that's huge. If I can take an animal and make them feel better for a little while, and people care about their pets. And that's what's so exciting to me, and I get to work with the animals and do something they actually enjoy instead of like the other thing I do where you're injecting them and stuff. So, but to me, that's what it's all about, is just keeping our animal friends happy.